Hello again, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I went away at about 11:30 and it is now 12:43. But yeah, we are just going to take this afternoon pretty easy. I've been doing a lot this week. We could figure out some of the Steam marketing stuff. I think it's probably a pretty good idea. And then I'm just going to do whatever random tasks we find on here that seem doable. So yeah, stabilize, goal June 5th. This is pretty much done. Yeah. So we are on this stuff. Resume polish days, resume music days. Hey again, Brandon. And thank you. All right, so yeah, C marketing. Let's go look at this. So description. I had some ideas here. Yeah, like press A to find out about the game. All right, so blurb, description, screenshots, trailer. Well, we don't have anything more to say for that. Maybe, yeah. Just show interesting / funny shots from different sub games. We should probably show player in all of them since she's the main character. So description. Did I have something else written over here? Something about a bug-free game. There are absolutely no anomalies or causes for alarm. You are fine. You are the best player. You will succeed thanks to my amazing tutorials. Well, bug-free game implies that you're in one game. Well, let's see. My games are the best games. There are absolutely no anomalies or causes for alarm. You are fine. You are my greatest creation, player. You will succeed thanks to my amazing tutorials. I kind of like this. The other one was this whole like press A to jump, press B to dash, to throw a barrel at your enemy. Press Y to recall that barrel and ask it how it felt to be thrown. Double tap right to really dig in with your questioning. The barrel is crying now. This reminds me of Queel Theory. One queel. If you ask me for a hamburger and I give you a raccoon, two queels. If you ask me for a hamburger, but it turns out I don't really exist, where I was originally standing, a picture of a hamburger rests on the ground. Yeah, how many levels of abstraction away from reality? And I sort of want to pursue this a little bit more. Kind of want to just write and see what happens. Barrel is crying now. Didn't want to be thrown. Why would you do such a thing? You restart. Press A to jump. Press L to dash in the other direction. There's a whole new world over here. Was it always there? Is this a statement about the road less traveled? You're paralyzed in thought. You restart. Press A to jump. Hold the analog stick downward at a 42-degree angle to ponder what it means to go between worlds. You're paralyzed again. This simply won't do. I don't know where I'm going with this. This is absurd. It's fun to write, but I don't think this is a good Steam description. Also, it kind of makes it sound like you're replaying the same game over and over. And this implies some story things that I'm not sure we want to do. Anyway, let's try the other route. So a short, linear, story-based game that will have you romping around different sub-games, trying to decipher what in the world is going on. Could just be that. Actually, that could be the blurb. You are player. You like games. This game contains games. You might play some of these games. This is actually pretty interesting because you are player in the game, and player does like games, and that's why they are an agent. In fact, I think having something here about choice or agency could be interesting. Choice or agency or identity. This means you'll like this game. But what brought you here in the first place? Yeah, I don't think this tells you enough. So this is just the descriptive route. This is more like in world. I think some of this will be clearer too as we start to develop it some more. Kind of want to just launch the game and see how do I feel. Maybe we should mention the part about being stuck or broken games. You are a player traversing a series of broken tutorials. Hopes of figuring out. Well, not in the hopes of doing anything. It's just because you have fun doing it. As you wonder about your existence. Out of curiosity, what did Undertale put for their description? The RPG game. Wow, RPG game. We don't have to destroy anyone. Yeah. Yeah, they went kind of the zany route here, but they did have one sentence of actual text that might have been interesting. Traversing a series of broken tutorials as you wonder about your existence, as you ponder your existence. I kind of like that. I like the you are player. Hmm. Then I kind of like this too a little bit. That should be upward. You're pondering. Take that, Sinistella. You did it. You beat the final boss of Pressel. And now you've become the final boss for the next person. I hope that on Monday someone says, take that, Pressel, and it's not you. Always makes me happy. Feels good to claim it. Feels good to pass the finish line. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, this doesn't really tie in with anything. Like I said, it was fun to write. I think we should probably come back to this at some point. Well, I do want to look at the blurb for a little bit longer. Traversing a series of broken tutorials as you ponder your existence. Maybe we could say, who is that strange person in the darkness? No, I don't like that. On the crash reason, let's go. You feel the insane dopamine rush? So yesterday, I asked AI to do this thing, and it got through 90% of my quota. And in the last 10%, I tried a slightly different strategy. And when it had 1% remaining, it said the game crashed. I was like, what? But I didn't have time to look into it because I had to do something else at the time. So I came back after a little bit and I started digging in and I couldn't repro it. I ran like 100 times. And then I tried varying how long it waited before quitting. I think I don't remember the exact order of events. And it crashed a few times. And then I changed the order some more, how long it waited some more. And it crashed even more. So I think what'll feel really good is if that issue goes somewhere. Like someone looks at this and they're like, oh my God, yeah, this has been some long-standing bug that now we know how to fix. So yeah, that would be really cool. Was this GPT? I mean, pretty much. Codex found. So how do I say this? I was trying three main things. I was trying to prune Stuck in a Broken Tutorial down to the minimal repro. I was trying to build up from scratch. And I was trying to build up from scratch, but with Yarn Spinner. And none of these were proving successful. So as I was digging in and finding out more about this and debugging some more, I asked AI, like, okay, look, there's a pretty good idea of what's going on here. Can we just keep trying to figure out how to build this up? So yeah, it eventually worked. First message, 130 streams. Still crazy. Thank you, Pressel, for watching as much as you do. So yeah, anyway, now we're taking a little pivot here and just looking at what would the Steam blurb be. So imagine we're on this page. This is what I'm calling the blurb. The description is down here. And then the screenshots and trailer are pretty obvious. But I'm only thinking about the text stuff for right now. And I kind of like this. This is short and sweet. We're player traversing a series of broken tutorials. Maybe across many games. As you ponder your existence. Traversing the broken tutorials of many different games, of many game worlds. In many game worlds? Broken tutorials in many game worlds. Yeah, I like this a lot. Really makes my weeks better. Wow, look at this touching moment between streamer and minion. Hey Mario, hey Miyazaki. I don't think tutorial is a good word. To me, it feels like you're guided throughout the game. Yeah, I wonder if we should say something more about maybe finding a way to escape. What is going on? There we go. It could be pivoted to be more about escaping, but your character is just having fun, not trying to escape. We need to troll and bully after this. All right, good. Good. I don't think this gives the same feel. I don't necessarily see what you're seeing there with this, Mario. I don't think tutorial is a good word. It makes it feel like you're guided throughout the game. I mean, the game is called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. So we're not going to avoid the word tutorial here. But actually, the game should never contain it other than in the title, I think. You won't ever directly call out that you're in a tutorial. Except for maybe the architect might say, like, oh, I had a hard time making them at some point. But yeah, I do really like this. Traversing. And I could alternatively see this as traversing the broken tutorials of many game worlds. Or even of disparate game worlds. Yeah, this one's pretty decent. Player traversing the broken tutorials of disparate game worlds as you ponder your existence. And maybe we can even add on at the end. Short, goofy, and only slightly absurd. No. Yeah. All right, so description. Another idea we could say is something like world building. This is you. Video of you in the platformer. But so is this. Video of you in the farming game. You don't know how you got here. And you don't know how to get. And you don't yet know how to get out. You feel driven. Yeah, and then like Stuck in a Broken Tutorial is a short, goofy. I want to say that it's goofy or maybe absurd. Story driven game. Yeah. Something like this. All right, this is good enough for right now. I'll come back to this later. I think it's better to stew on it. All right, so just keep going through this list. Yeah, I would love to do this. Where do we have the ideas? Here we go. UI ideas. Title screen could change based on which game you're in. The title screen. Here it is. Cool. All right. Dialogue should make a typing out sound that gets skipped if you advance. Clean up. Bypass rate limiting is misnamed. Is it worth even changing this? Sound will not be rate limited. It's created for the intro cutscene where the sound shouldn't be attenuated. I think we should say like bypass attenuation. That's what this should probably be called. This sound will always play at regular volume. This is useful for sounds that play from cutscenes or when typing out dialogue. So now the audio player, or maybe the system, don't we have bypass rate limiting somewhere else? Yeah, here it is. Bypass attenuation. Yeah, we even use attenuation rate here. I like that. Where else did I talk about rate limiting though? Can't perform, meaning we don't attenuate the sound based on recent plays, since we have no way of identifying. Well, actually, not no way of identifying it. We know the path. Path always identifies a single sound. We could have treated the path as an ID. Does not attenuate to attenuate the sound based on repeated calls. Has it been revealed? Yeah, the next 3 have been revealed. So the one that will start on Monday is going to be a top-down shooter. And the gimmick is it's going to be a, like, how do I say this succinctly? I guess like you get power-ups, but the game says that they're temporary. They aren't. So that's a gimmick. So like you'll play through and you'll be like, wow, this is really tough. Like I just need to get better at the game. But your character is getting stronger across each run that you do. And it's just not clear to you that that's happening until finally it is clear. And you're like, wait a second, why is this easier all of a sudden? I think maybe we should do a little bit more planning around it. I'm not totally sure yet. I kind of want to just mess around and see what happens. But yeah, need to answer the question of how players aren't going to realize that their power is scaling up. Maybe you get a handful of power-ups each time, and it's hard to tell which ones you got exactly. If there are damage numbers, though, you'd see those rising. Panic, borrowed power. Hey, falling great. Also, hey, reformulate. Not sure what that means. Anyway, so that's the next game. Then the game after that is just going to be loot boxes. And the gimmick here is you open loot boxes for literally no purpose. It's kind of a meta commentary on how long players will do something addictive, even when there's no point. I really like this idea. And then after that, it's going to be Dungeon Racer. And it's you racing in a like Zelda style dungeon. There are like traps and swords and bows and arrows and I don't know, probably some items and stuff. Anyway, I think they're all pretty cool ideas. But yeah, the top-down shooter will be first. I suspect it'll take like a couple weeks. We won't probably fully polish it yet. Then yeah, loot boxes will probably pivot to that. Maybe spend a couple weeks. Dungeon Racer, a couple weeks. So the goal is that by August 1st, I'd like to have the next like playtestable version. So we're going to be starting on the 8th. So a couple weeks would bring us to here. A couple weeks would bring us to the 6th. Then a couple weeks would bring us to the 13th. So then we have 2 weeks to kind of like finalize and polish. We'll still be spending Thursdays to work on music for the games. So yeah, I think it's a decent timeline. We'll probably run into a whole bunch of issues along the way. That's game dev. All right, anywhere else I use the word rate in here? Is rate limited. What does this do? Minimum delay between plays. This just, okay, so this is truly rate limiting. So we never use this for bypassing rate limiting, right? No, we don't. And anywhere else that we use the word rate. I gotta look at this. Rate limits. Is that what we use in this function? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. So where does attenuation happen then? We look at num recent plays for that. Ah, okay. Keeps track of how many times the sound has been played recently. Used to decrease the volume of the sound if it plays too often, so the sound is annoying. Decrease every second, so they eventually reach 0 after enough time has passed. Yeah, and what this just automatically happens in what a process or something. Timer.timeout. This is interesting. Yeah, this is interesting. This could probably be made better. Like when something hits 0, we could just remove it from the list, I guess. What populates this? Modify does. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, there aren't that many sound effects in the game, but since we do keep track of this for everything, that means that we're every single second iterating over however many sound effects you've ever had and calling this function. It's not too crazy, I guess. I shouldn't think about this. Who cares? Okay, so I think we renamed this. Do we use this anywhere else in terms of rate limiting? This is audio player. I already looked at that. That's fine. Yeah, I think this is fine. It's a question for dot trace. Well, I mean, just asymptotic complexity, like it's O of n to loop over the keys, then the function call and the addition are constant time. But the O of n part is like, well, the more sounds we have, yeah, the more this will do. I get it. You're saying look at dot trace to figure out the empirical impact, which is where I'm just saying like that's probably minimal. But hey, again, Wix. All right, so I think I'm happy with this. I don't really want to go look through the entire code base for the word rate and see if we ever reference it from like a comment or something. Yeah, there's audio stuff and then probably not much else. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, let's go check this in then. Cool. Oh, I never did this to do item. Wow. How'd that make it through? Uh-oh. Okay, we got to tackle those at some point. Tackle the do items in the code. I was doing so much yesterday that I think I just did not ever come back to that. Okay, so rename bypass rate limiting. It is now more accurately named bypass attenuation. Cool. All right, tackle the do items. Let's go take a look at those. Man, I'm so used to VS Code shortcuts for that. All right, so converge on this. Yeah, this I'll just do later with AI. Dialogue typing sounds. Yeah, because this is really simple refactoring. All right, find out our writer didn't add a comma to my enumeration speaker ID. So I didn't have a comma here. I hit save. Yeah, it doesn't add one. I made it do this. I made it do it at some point. I don't know why it's not doing it now. Trailing comma. When the last element is not followed by a new line. How do I have it just automatically add this? Did I write this down somewhere? Comma? No. Writer automatically add trailing commas. Code syntax automatically arrange trailing commas on saving changes. Yeah. Action on save, reformat, and clean up code. Actions on save. Reformat and clean up code. This isn't checked anymore? I'm not doing anything. Full cleanup, whole file. Reformat with comment wrapping. Still not doing anything. All right, how do I find the profile? Probably in code cleanup. C sharp. Apply syntax, C sharp. Trailing commas, there it is. I kind of want to just do everything though, so maybe we should have it do full cleanup. Rearrange code, C sharp. Syntax style. It says arrange trailing commas. Why wouldn't that work? Oh, because I'm not saving it. Oh, I rebound Command S. So I gotta like switch away and come back and that saves? No, how do you actually save a file? No, it's just not working. No. Okay, it's not that then. Does this formatter even do what I want it to do? Reformat code? No. What if I do the full format, full cleanup? What's it called? Full cleanup. Reformat and cleanup code. Reformat and cleanup. Full cleanup. Not on whole solution. I just want it to be the current file. I guess uncommitted file. Run. Okay, so that worked. So I'm confused. Yeah, I'm confused. Save. No, that doesn't work. Okay, so that did it. What's strange to me is when I did it from the file menu, I hit save all. Oh, now it did it. All right, so then what if I navigate away from this and come back? Yeah, this is what's weird to me. So there's a way to persist this to disk without it saving or without it formatting. I consider anything that puts us on disk to be saving, but it apparently doesn't. There's something on like when you navigate away to save. Where is that? On save. Wiggy, thanks for the resub. Happy 31 months. Where do we do this? And why did I do this in the first place? I wanted it to format. And I rebound Command S. Comment wrapping. Okay, maybe I should change all this stuff then. Maybe what I should do is set the key map back to save. I don't even know what save is by default. Is it save all? If I, I don't know how you even reset this. Ooh, 5 streams. Nice. Yeah, I don't know what Command S is bound to by default. Maybe we can find out by clicking one of these other ones. Like IntelliJ and just hit Command S. It is save all by default. All right, so I got to go find save all and add a keyboard shortcut. Command S. Remove it from silent reformat. Then set it so that action on save is this. And now if I just press Command S, okay, it fixes that. Now, what is it about comments that this doesn't work? It didn't work as expected. I don't even think we should keep these notes. These notes suck. Yeah. Does this not work for something? Like if I have this typed out as one line and I press this, no, it seems like it works. Yeah, it seems like it works. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just say in addition to this, I also have it reformat and clean up code with the full cleanup profile. Reformat and clean up code every time I press Command S, which is bound to save all. I set this up through, I think you can just right click this and get the settings path. Yeah. All right, well, I think it's fixed, so great. And I didn't actually change any code, right? Nope. All right, next up, figure out how to make JetBrains smart autocomplete slightly better. Can I use Codex? Can I have it use the cloud if it isn't already? So Rider smart autocomplete, code completion. There's some like AI autocomplete. If you've enabled AI assistant, you can leverage AI powered code completion. That's already working, right? Yeah, but how do you configure that? I just want, maybe I search through here. AI. AI assistant, here we go. All right, so what do we got in this? Provide name suggestions. Suggest converting pasted code to the language of the target file. Generate a title for shelf change list. Oh, this is probably what's causing me to spend some credits. I haven't spent any more in a little while, though, so maybe not. That's your own paid AI assistant. I have that, though. But something's doing autocomplete right now. And I just want it to be better. I feel like VS Code was really good, which is powered by GitHub Copilot. And yeah, maybe there's some option for changing this or for using Codex or something. Code completion. Yeah, here we go. All right, it says cloud and local. I think I just want it set to cloud. I assume that local is just worse. Does not consume AI credits. Unlimited cloud completion is included. Yeah, so what does it mean to have cloud and local? JetBrains cloud and local AI completion? Why would you want both? Maybe it falls back when you don't have access to the cloud. Code completion relies on both locally run and cloud models to provide. What? Relies on a locally run deep learning model to provide suggestions, can be downloaded. Relies only on a cloud model to provide suggestions. Also allows you to assign a custom model to provide suggestions. For more information, assign models. How does this work? Eat your GPU while writing code. It's probably pretty minimal, is my guess. Like, I don't think these are, yeah, I don't think these are very intense things. Usually, this is why autocomplete is offered for free anyway. Or not like for free, but unlimited, because it's just not that taxing, I think. And there have been solutions kind of like this for a while, like Tab 9. I don't know if this still exists. But yeah, before like true LLMs existed. Each AI assistant feature has a predefined list of models assigned to it. These models are used when the feature is triggered. Some features also have a predefined list of fallback models. AI assistant checks whether any of the models available to match the models assigned to that feature. If no models found and fallback models are defined, it checks those. Yeah, sure. Where do we do this? Providers and API keys. Model assignments. All right, let me take a look at this off screen. I don't think I have anything private there. No, I don't even know where this is. Settings, tools, AI assistant. What, and then what? Providers and keys. Oh, there it is. Account. Activate agent with a chat GPT account. Once connected, agent uses chat GPT instead of third-party API keys. I don't think I need that. Yeah, I don't think I need that. Hey, MoonPie. How much RAM and VRAM do you have? It's in my spec sheet there. Emacs. All right, let me see. Sorry, I'm just trying to find. There's something I was looking at here. This, yeah. I think I wanted to set this to cloud. And then what's this stuff? Suggest refactoring. Suggest formatting only edits. Sure. Change suggestions. Sure. Preview instantly. Sure. I don't know. Let's try it. I just want to make this kind of better, and we'll see if that works. Inline completion. Okay, let's just try that. Hey, Mary. Managed to find out why the crash is happening. Remember something like a float being there was the issue, but couldn't watch after that. Yeah, I spent some time after the stream yesterday, and I came up with a repro, and it's in this repository. So like, I don't think it repros on Windows, but you could download this on Mac and try this for yourself and run it 100 times, and it should crash at some point, albeit you have to follow the instructions. But I didn't do any more investigation beyond that. So who knows? This bug might be stuck in limbo for a while. Someone might pick it up. I probably won't do any more investigation unless they ask me to. And then I'd be happy to. I don't mind. I don't mind trying to prune it down. At least then I know I'm not just chasing shadows. Yeah. All right, so we should try to write some like fake code here. What's some fake code we might write in here? Maybe like public long play music. Okay, sure. Let's try that for now. That's good enough. I just want to see how autocomplete would feel. I'm guessing there's a change here. Oh, it reformatted. Oh, maybe I should run this on the whole code base. How did it actually modify this? What did it do? Oh, put a comma there. You can run this on the whole code base, can't you? Clean up. Yeah, whole solution. Let's just see what happens. It's probably going to modify like 20 files, maybe more. Oh, wait. It's probably going to modify everything in add-ons. I don't want to touch any of that. Yeah, all right. This will take some time. I think it's probably worth keeping the changes here. That way I don't save a file and it applies some like random difference to it. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Actually, I guess it's going to change way more than 20 files. I was just thinking significant changes, but really nothing should be all that significant. It should just be a bunch of minor changes. So I do not want anything in the add-ons directory to be modified. Where's that? Game add-ons. Yeah, just revert all of these. Roll back. Because that's not our code. So now we only have 68 changes. That's not too bad. So let's look through some of these and see what it is we're looking at. It modified even editor config. What did it change on this line? It added spaces. Okay. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Let's look at the next file. Oh God, it's so hard to see what's what. Can I look at the inline diff? How do we do that? Side by side. Yeah, trailing comma. Okay, I can see it now. New line at the end of the file. This is a markdown file. And it split things onto multiple lines. I actually don't like this. Yeah, I don't like this. I want to change that. Markdown. Where do you change it? Wrap long text is off. Wait, no, this, how's that happening? Hard wrap at 120, but it's turned off. What? Yeah, what's causing this? Well, I don't know that it only crashes on Mac. I didn't test it all on Windows. Blub did, and Blub couldn't get a crash on Mac or on Windows. And I didn't test on Linux at all. And it might just be a timing thing. Could be difficult. turn up the hard wrap. I don't know if this is being respected at all, though. Like I set this at 900. I don't think it actually matters here because I think it's only when you have this set as well. So now if we set this to like 9. No, I don't know what this is doing. I'll try setting it to 500, but yeah, I don't know if this is the problem. So now we revert this line and then just hit save again. Oh, it's saving every single file that's open. Okay, maybe that did do it. I'm not actually certain. Close other tabs. Is it this? Wait, no, I have it set to 9. Something strange is happening. Yeah, it's not even formatting it now. I don't know what's doing that. Weird too, because if I choose this again, it's on full cleanup. I guess full cleanup has the markdown. How do we find that again? Code cleanup. Here it is. Yeah. Reformat code. Where is markdown? Markdown is just a check. Apply syntax. It doesn't have it there. Rearrange. No, no. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Strange though. Saving this file doesn't cause it to wrap or anything. Oh, now it does. All right, what's doing that? Settings may be overridden by editor config. There's no markdown in here though. It's probably something coming from over here. I just don't know what exactly. Yeah, we could try setting this to 5 and saving. And then changing this file again. It's not that. That's how Windows said, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks. Wait, no, this got set back. We could disable this, I suppose. Indents detection. That's maybe what's doing it. Indents detection. What does it even mean? Let's just disable this for a sec. And save, and then save this. I want this reverted. All right, yeah, I don't know what's going on. 5. Save. Hi. There. Well, it modified more lines now, so it does look like it might be this setting. I just don't understand how this setting is working if it's not actually wrapping at 5. If I set it to 50, and then I guess revert everything, and then type hi. It's not any different from what it just was, right? It got set back to 5. That's why. I think you have to press enter and then save it. God. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what this is doing. And I don't know how we enable this again. Set from, yeah, how do we get that like stored in project? Oh, wrap long text is on there. Really? No, now it's just changing this. I don't like this at all. Yeah, I don't like this. All right, well, this is when we just ask AI because I don't know how we do this. In Writer, I have a markdown file. I want long lines in markdown files to stay unbroken when I run a format. What's it called? Reformat? Reformat my code, but it's instead hard wrapping the lines. Which settings control this? Yeah, it's just not obvious to me. And there aren't that many settings that are even here. And they say they're getting overridden, but then when I disable this, it doesn't change this in a way that I expect. Did we now modify one of these files? Code style and project? Yeah, I guess I delete both of these. Unless, no. All right, main setting is code style, markdown, wrapping, and braces. Wrap long text off, hard wrap at, only matters if hard wrapping is enabled. Wrap on typing. Yeah, so it's all the settings I already found. What am I doing wrong? Wrap long text is off. What am I missing? Hard wrap at doesn't matter. Wrap on typing. Default is no. And this is only for block quotes, which I mean, I could turn that off too because I don't care. Also check tools action on save. This is happening when you save. I'm okay with it happening. I just don't want it to wrap. Separate things. Soft wraps controls visual wrapping. Yeah, what am I missing here? Oh, wait. Maybe because of where this is located? It might be this specific file that has a problem. Although it is listed as a solution item, so it should be fine. Yeah, so if I type hi here, I guess we revert this. And then I type hi. It's still wrapping. Never going to figure this out, am I? All right, let's open up like sounds.md. This is at least inside the game folder. If I save this, what happens? Nothing bad. Okay, well, I guess we need to expand beyond 120 characters. Yeah, that just made this wrap. It made it wrap in a really stupid way, too. So it's not the path of the file. And I just can't figure out what setting is controlling this. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. There are like 6 checkboxes and I can't figure this out. Wait, what's this? Why is this different from... Wait, no, this is just keep line breaks. I don't want it to add the line breaks. It's adding them in the first place. But okay, I guess that's close enough. So now what? I do this and then I say hi and say no. It's not working. I'm annoyed, but this does change this at least. Yeah, you can even see it's undoing my line break. Is it overwriting the code style somehow? I don't know, because there's a pop-up here when I choose this, for example. No, not anymore now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. May want to use editor config to enforce your style is what I meant. Yeah, but why isn't this working? Because you should just be able to configure it through here. All right, well, can you output the editor config settings to make sure this kind of wrapping doesn't happen? I can't seem to get this to work through writer's settings alone. This is very easy in Emacs. Oh yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff that'd be easier in Emacs. And there's probably some stuff that'd be harder in Emacs. I don't plan to switch editors again, at least not while I'm working on this project. This was a lot of IDE only. Have you seen that video making a button in 2026? No, I haven't, Moonpie. Do you want to link it? Or maybe on Discord? Wow, this is such a waste of my time. The problem is it's a waste of my time to reformat these files. So I'm either wasting my time figuring this out once or I'm wasting my time forever reformatting files. Yeah, thank you. I'll take a look at this. Well, hopefully I'll take a look at this. This list is growing out of control. When I first started streaming, it was in 2015, and I had a post stream to do. And by the end of my, like in 2020, I think there were like 3,000 lines on that list. And there were a bunch of things like this where it was someone saying like, hey, you should watch this video, or you should look into this, or here's a little thing that you want to fix in your code. And at some point I realized like I really got to stop adding so much to my list. So this is what I have now. This won't take too long to get through. There's some videos. But yeah, now I drop items much more rapidly if I feel the need. Just watch right now. Oh, I don't watch videos while I'm streaming. But yeah, I'll probably take a look some other time. Do you want to find devices on the local network? What is this doing at this point? Also, why is approve for me on? I wanted to ask for approval. Also, I just asked a question of like, how do you do this? Yeah, just cut this out. It made this stuff. Wrap on typing, max line length. Maybe we can just change this. Yeah, I was trying to test this stuff out. All right, so we put this here. Max line length set to 40 just for the sake of testing here. So now I say hi and I hit save. Nothing happens. What about over here? I don't think there's any winning. Yeah, I don't think there's any winning. Wrap on typing, max line length. Is this in the wrong location? Maybe. Where does writer read editor config from? Where is that? Is the root? It's the root. It's just not next to the solution file. And in all its parent directories until it reaches the root file path or finds an editor config with root equals true. The root file path is being slashed in this case, I guess. Editor config. Create a file, automatically be renamed. Also, root equals true. Yeah, we have that one here. Let's just test to see, is this even being respected? What's the easiest thing we can change to figure that out? For a while. Okay, here we go. So we could set this to some other value here. Not required. And then inside of any C# file now, go write a for loop. I equals 0, I is less than 10, gd.print, hello. And I hit save. It added curly braces anyway. I don't know. I don't think this is taking effect. I think we have to move this somewhere. Let's just try. Oh, editor config support is disabled for this project. I think I accidentally turned it off. Well, not accidentally. I didn't mean to permanently turn it off. Yeah, here we go. All right, so what, now it's going to work inside of here? God, this should not be so difficult. No, oh, it worked. Okay. That did it. So does that mean that setting this to 120 is bad? Yes, it does. I don't understand though, because wrap on typing is false. Do we have some other like wrap long lines? Any wrap long lines and JSON wrap long lines? Any wrap? Where'd that even go? Oh, I have this set to 120 still. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like this number is controlling it. I don't understand why, if you have this thing turned off for wrap long text, you can't right click this and get what this turns into. That's what this check mark's supposed to be, right? Rider wrap long text not being respected. I wonder if there's a bug on this. Code style markdown. Yeah, it's not on. Why would the hard wrap at value even be consulted? All right, let's go find their issue thing. JetBrains issue tracker. All right, so what's this called? Wrap long text. Yeah, wrap long text. Yep. Okay, so wrap long text not being respected. Maybe markdown. Disabling wrap text inside block quotes does not work. Hard wrapping breaks lists and bold text. Okay, here we go. Write a bullet list with a long word or link. Enable hard wrapping. Okay, this is not what I have. I have hard wrapping off. Unchecked wrap long text is ignored for markdown. Here it is. Have a line like this. Have these styling settings. This is exactly my issue. Okay, so what do they talk about here? Some behaviors observed with long strings like this. Another example. Thank you for the report. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to reproduce. Could you please check if the enable editor config support option is enabled? It's possible to share your code style settings. Unfortunately, I still wasn't able to reproduce the problem. Issue requires more detailed examination. Seeing the same issue. Presence of italicized portions. So this is a bug. Great. The settings aren't ignored. I could just disable this, and then there's still just this check mark doesn't do anything. Yeah. So this is the same issue that I have. I guess I'll write this down over here. So troubleshooting known issues that have bothered me. Markdown doesn't respect wrap long text being off. Hey, Goose. Well, we have a workaround at least. And we could probably work around this by just commenting out all of this and then changing it in here because we're not overriding this. So if I set this to 4,000, oh, 4,000 is too high. How high can you set this? 900? 1,500? 999? 999 is fine. 1,000? Where's the 1,024? 1,023? Where does this stop? You can set it to 1,000, but not 1,001. Okay, so 1,000 is the maximum value. No, Sam, I didn't give up. Check out the today command. And by me saying that, you don't actually have to type anything. Okay, so we just set this to 1,000 and then try this again, right? Are we having fun yet? No, it doesn't respect this either. All right, whatever. Don't care. Oh, no, it didn't save it. Will 999 get saved? Yes. Will it be respected? Yes. Okay, so that's that. All right, well, that was a waste of time. Workaround. Just set a really long hard wrap at number. 999 seems to be the highest you can actually use through the settings, but you can set it through editor config to be like 4,000. I don't know. I think you can have this stuff saved to editor config. Although I need to find out how to get it to do that. But I'll do that when I get back from the break. Because, yeah, an ad break's about to start. All right, so where did we write this down? Yeah, so where I left off, figure out how to export this to editor config through the IDE itself, not through the text. All right, is it jump time? Did he hear me? I don't think it did. Is it jump time? Can I go yet? Break, break, break. It's jump time. Hello again. Close the game. Hey, Nat. Okay. So where we left off was figure out how to export this. And there's some way that I can do this through the UI. I know I can just type it in. Yeah, sharing settings with teammates. Search everywhere, type manage layers. You'll see something like this. Manage layers. All right, then what do we do? Right click this computer in the image above. Click export to file. Can I just do this? Dot settings, dot user file. Shared with the team. Okay, so yeah, I would click this one. And then what? I think it's already set. Doesn't that mean that I already modified this? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What game is that? Yeah, that's Jump Royale, and yeah, I made it. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. All right. This is this is stupid. We'll just manually add it in here. Yeah, I'll just put it in here. Whatever. And then just delete this file. All right, let's test it one more time. So we type like, how are you? And hit save. Yep, nice. Okay, great. So now we can go look through the rest of these. So new line, what changed here? It deleted the label. This is something I never figured out from earlier. I want when there's this one's not required. So this is actually probably fine. Yeah, let's just leave that as is. All right. Let's not get too nitpicky here. All right, trailing comma, new line, that's fine. Trailing comma, new line. Yep, yep, yep. I'm gonna ignore a whole lot of these things because this is what I want, and I just wanted to change this in the future. It's using var, that's okay. Yep. Yeah, I am actually gonna review every single one of these. We had 67 files, but a lot of them have a single change or like very easy to validate changes. So here, just change var. Yep, change var, that's fine. And that's because we're loading and instantiating. Yep. Good, 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 good. Yep. Trailing comma. This moved where this one was. I don't know why it moved it out of that list. And then put a new line there. Why would it do that? Why would it just move this one thing? Is it because it's in a different namespace? Huh. Yeah, I don't understand where this change came from. It's not really any different from the ones before it. It didn't just put it in alphabetical order. It brought it out of this list and then put a new line there. Why? Oh, because now it's in alphabetical order. I see. But it's across all of these. I don't get the new line though. Can I just delete that? Yes, I can. Okay, fine, sure. Just put a space there. That's okay. Trailing comma, trailing comma. What file are we in? Localization tool? Yeah. I don't care too much about this stuff. What changed here? That's weird. Doesn't that mean that if operating system dot is Windows here is now here twice? It is there twice. How could that have happened? Strange. Let me switch to the line side by side viewer. Oh, it was already there twice to begin with? Oh. Okay. Well, that explains that. Okay, well, it shouldn't be there twice. And I don't know how it got there. Merge two ifs. Yeah, I always had that apparently. It's really hard for me to see the colors right now, partially because there are very bright lights in my face. Normally this room is like pitch black when I'm coding on my own. I should probably just make the colors brighter or something. All right, so what file is this? Godot executable resolver. Yeah, so we made it pretty far. Let's keep going. Bunch of new lines. So this is alphabetical order now. Yeah. Bar. Yep, yep, yep. Totally cool. Yeah, none of these should be functional changes. They should all be just spacing, styling. Oh, this one's much harder to read. What did it do? It looks like it added another space at the beginning. This is getting outputted to a file though. So adding a space in the middle of a string changes the string. But maybe there's a tab character beforehand. I can't tell. Let's copy this and open up Python and do what? ORD like that? No, 32 is an ASCII space. So what's this then? Also a space. So why are they different? Are there more of them? I can't tell. That's the one on the right. Yeah, there is one more space. What will cause it to add another space? This is for writing PO headers. So we can go look at dialog.po, for example. In this case, they get formatted anyway, so I guess it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah. Space in front doesn't matter. It should matter, right? Because of the triple quotes. Raw string literals. Govern the interpretation of multi-line. Opening quotes must be the last non-white space character. White space to the left of the closing quotes is removed. White space following open quotes on the same line is ignored. White space only lines. When white space precedes the end delimiter on the same line, the exact number and kind of white space characters must exist at the beginning of each line. Space doesn't match a horizontal tab and vice versa. Could have sworn this meant it would print with the spaces. Oh, okay. Then yeah, sure, this is fine. I didn't realize that's how what the semantics of that would be. All right, trailing commas. Yeah, deleting this. I still don't like that. Like I said, I won't get too nitpicky about this. Cool. Good. Yeah, so this is one of those files that I actually don't want to have be changed at all, probably. What is this file? README inside the localization tool. Okay, let's just revert both of these because I can't trust that it did them correctly. And roll that one back too. So reformat both READMEs now that I don't wrap long lines. Okay, anything else? Did this get moved? Private static async functions go at the bottom of the file? Okay, I'm happy enough with that. I don't care. Or wait, no, they go at the top of the file, I mean. But still fine. Yep, great. Dispose got moved. That's kind of interesting, I guess. Sure. This is updating Godot. Okay, so this we're just going to revert all of it right now. And then close every other tab. And then save this. And there are no changes. Perfect. All right, so after updating Godot, is this just a new line, trailing comma, new line, curly braces. This got moved. Man, it's hard to read this stuff. Yeah, I think this is probably fine. I wouldn't expect it to do anything unusual here. All right, so what do we do? Apply editor config to the entire repo. There are 2 README files. Why am I even writing this down? Why don't I just run them on the README files? All right, so this actually did change one of these lines. 2 of them. I think it changed the tabbing of a list. And then what happened here? Looks like it added a new line, but I can't really tell. No, it merged a new line. I think. Yeah, here it is. I think we can just join these lines then, right? Yeah, easy peasy. Okay. Hey, Slash. Welcome in. All right, so then there's one other README, and it's in the repository root. And I just type hi here, and then save. And make sure I deleted the hi from over there. I did. All right, so anything interesting change here? Nothing interesting. Great. Nice keyboard. Thanks. Yeah, it's a corn keyboard. I like it a lot. Every once in a while, I go look at what other keyboards are out there. And the only things I'd maybe improve about this keyboard, I'd get like working LEDs. So I have LEDs in here and the keyboard lights up and it's got this cool trail effect that I really like, but only on the left half because I broke the right half because I soldered this and I'm just bad at soldering. So yeah, working LEDs, maybe wireless. I don't know about that. And an encoder. I think those are the only things I would change about this keyboard. Yeah, I think that's it. And the LEDs and wireless are kind of opposites. Like I would probably do one or the other, but I don't think I need both. And an encoder would just be nice for changing volume and stuff. I have keys on the keyboard to change volume. It's so much more fun to turn a knob than it is to press buttons. But yeah, otherwise this keyboard is great. I'll probably use it until it dies. Is that a key shadowing issue? I don't think so. None as far as I can tell. So apply editor config to the entire repo. Yep, let's commit that. All right, so done with that. Oh yeah. The Voyager looks good. I had the Moonlander for a little while, and I just never really used it. And I had an Ergodox, and I never really used it. And back then, it's because I didn't realize if you buy a keyboard like this, you really should change the way you type. It shouldn't just be that you try to still use the keyboard the same way. And the Voyager sort of forces you to use it differently, because like there are no pinky keys below the letter row. So like on a regular keyboard, you have Control here, and you have Windows key, and then Alt, and then a large space bar, of course. But you just literally don't have those keys here. So like you have to use this a little differently. Been liking having a wireless dongle like a ZMK Prospector. So each half is wireless to the dongle and the dongle is wired. Yeah. I think that a lot of keyboards have wireless via whatever, like 2.4 gigahertz or something, or Bluetooth. I'd probably connect over the former, but I don't have the option. I mean, these are just wired keyboards. But if I were to ever make a new one, but I don't really want to make one. Like, this is enough for me. I don't want to make another keyboard. And yeah, I think if I were to get one, I mentioned this before, but there was something called the Cornish Zen, which doesn't exist anymore, I guess. Do they even show pictures of it? They don't. But yeah, it's just a wireless core with an aluminum body. So I really like the look of that. Those were super expensive when they were launched. Okay, we could always try spoken dialogue to see if it sounds good. Yeah, some of this stuff we'll save for next time. Maybe next like stabilization phase. Find a better background tile set for the platformer. Something made for more verticality. We still need to do this. This is a polished task. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to be streaming for too much longer. Yeah. This I'm just going to delete. Yeah, there's some more dialogue and everything I wanted to add. I'm just feeling so tired. Oh, hey, we already have this here. This is done. Where is stabilization phase? Here. Go to that spoken dialogue. Could be reproduce AI recordings ahead of time. You localize this for every language. For prototyping, just do whatever's cheapest. For the actual game, I think it makes the most sense to pre-record using a text-to-speech model that I have on my machine. That way I don't need to distribute TTS models for every language. We could automate the production of each sound file ahead of time for each language. Then we just need to modify Yarn Spinner to get a voice over something presenter, I think. Yarn Spinner, voiceover. Voiceover, what do they call it? It was like a presenter or something. And they only have one of these for Unity. I forgot what it was called. Lip synced voice line. Voice over presenter. Yeah, it was this. Yeah. So there we go. This may have a negative impact on the game. Apparently, though, what is it? Tomodachi Life? Tomodachi? Yeah, this game. Apparently, Tomodachi Life had it. And people like it well enough. I haven't played this game. Without knowing much about it, it looks like Animal Crossing in the style of the... Oh, what are those things called? The Miiverse? Is that a thing? Yeah. In the style of the Miiverse. Anyway. Yeah, I think we have plenty of tasks to do. All right, there is one thing I think could be worth focusing on. And like I said, I don't want to spend too terribly long. I did stream for a long time this week, and we're already at 5 hours right now. So in whatever remaining time I still feel like streaming, I'm going to look at the game we're going to make on Monday so that we have fewer questions for when we get to it. So how about this? You know what might be best is I want to write down kind of from memory what I think this is going to be. So it's a top-down shooter. I mentioned this earlier. The gimmick was the game presents upgrades as though they're temporary, but they're actually permanent. And the game is somewhat difficult as a result, since you keep going up in power level. Now, in my mind, this is a great way to do difficulty for this game specifically, because it might be impossible at first. I don't know. Maybe we make it possible. But either way, it will get easier to the point where everyone should be able to win, because every time you die, you get a power up. So you could just purposely die in the game, get power ups, and eventually become invincible. So it should be pretty much impossible to permanently lose. Whereas there are some games where there's at least some like small amount of difficulty to it. So I like this idea. Not every subgame can follow this pattern. But yeah, one of the questions that I had is, how do we sort of hide this from you? I mean, we don't need to hide it forever. In fact, probably the sooner you realize that this is happening, the better. Yeah. Answer, we don't need to hide this. In fact, hiding it too much could cause players to give up. Yeah, I guess it's kind of an incremental. It's just not themed as an incremental. It's like a hidden incremental game. There are going to be more overt incremental sub games, I bet. Assuming that we, keep developing this game, which I'm sure we will. Okay. So I'll write this down in the questions section because I like this well enough. Or rather, things that we've answered already. How do we stop players from realizing that their power is scaling up? Answer, we don't need to hide this. Players may notice the damage numbers rising on enemies as you repeat cycles. So what were the issues that I still had? Settle on monster assets, kind of leaning toward having swarms of monsters rather than smart ones. And the monsters I had were these. No, not those. This one. I didn't really like this pack for it. And how much was this? $6. On sale pixel characters. Wasn't this on sale when I looked at it last time too? I think it was. I don't think we need these characters. Although actually these have walking animations, right? Maybe these become the enemies. Although, do they fit with the environment? I need to do some asset testing for this. An environment. I said this would work. This one's by the same artist. So this and this character. So let's take a look at these together. This one and this one. Where'd the other tab go? There. I didn't know if that was a scroll bar on my browser or not, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, these pictures. All right, I want to get a picture of this and a picture of this open. I think this looks good. Combination of these things. I then don't think that having these characters would be good. I don't think they would fit. So I just don't like these at all. If they had walking animations, I think it'd be so much better. But yeah, this was part of the asset pack that we saw over here. This one has characters with walking animations. They mention it, by the way. Oh no, they're, well, yes, there they are. Oh, maybe the monster ones do have it then, and they just don't list it. Because they don't list it here for some reason. 22 animation. They say... Huh. And what did they say over here? Oh, they have walk animation and attack. Wait, what? Why don't they show those over here? Unless that's the walking animation, because if so, that does not look good. I hope it's not. Yeah, this is one of those assets that I find very hard to judge. But it looks like everything was just kind of procedurally done here. All right, I might need to ask about this. Ask about the actual assets within this pack. Are there proper walking and attacking animations? And if not, maybe we use them anyway. I don't know. And I have this one. I said I wasn't sold on this. Yeah. UI elements, platform shots. Okay, great. So what else do we have here? Settle on monster assets, need an environment. Yeah, I liked this one. This is, I think, $5. Yeah. So what else do I need to figure out? I don't know. I think we just kind of make the game based on that. I actually think pre-planning this a little too much would be detrimental. Yeah. Hmm. Stairs are a decent amount of these assets, it looks like. I wonder if we want to use stairs. Another thing is you could just treat stairs like they're just a walkable path. So like if you hold right as you're walking up here, what should happen? And like maybe you'd expect it to go up and to the right a little bit to recognize that you're sort of on a slope. And then pressing left would do kind of the opposite and make you walk downward. Alternatively, it just makes you go in a straight line. You just hold right and you go right across the whole path. So yeah, I don't know what would be best. But yeah, any assets that we buy, I gotta verify the licenses. Assets, test them out first, verify the licenses, commercial license, and allow for modifications. Since we need to theme the main characters to theme player. And then buy them. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to do this. I think this will be a lot of fun. The plan is to, like, we have a general idea for the game, but I haven't been too prescriptive about how exactly it'll play out so that we can explore what works. I think I want it to be a continuous world that you're in, but yeah, is it procedural? Are you going through the same? Is it like I make rooms and I connect them somehow? I think having it be procedurally generated would be kind of cool. Might be overkill. We could do it in a way that is simplified though. It could be almost like, what was that game called? Smash TV, I think. If I recall correctly, each room was, where's the, here we go. Yeah, each room had some entrances and exits, and then a bunch of enemies came out, and you had to like fight them in here. We could do that style, and then the rooms could be like slightly different, but that way they're just all rooms that all take up the whole screen. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Ideas, world. It probably doesn't make sense to have a single world that all players go through for this. I also think that a procedurally generated world is probably overkill. Maybe we go the Smash TV route and have a single screen at any given time with swarms of enemies. And the different paths between, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, or yeah, some wave function collapse kind of procedurally generated thing. I'm not sure. Hey, Dark. I wonder how hard it is to even do that. Game dev. A lot of ready-made implementations. Is there something on the Godot asset store or whatever, asset library? They have two different things now. I'm just kind of curious. What people made? Probably over here, if anything. Fast wave function collapse, 2D, 3D generator. I've never tried using something like this, so I don't know what really goes into this. Three quick demos as well as sample data. Oh, I think I've seen this page. Yeah, anyway, I think it'd be overkill for this. But like I said, I think I kind of want to just explore on Monday. I'm also going to try to get more sleep over the weekend. I spent too long after the stream yesterday working on that repro. Probably spit something out for wave function collapse dungeons. Yeah, I would expect it to be able to do that. And then it's just a question of like, is that what's best for the game? Do we want that? Because really, one of the things that I think, like a core guiding principle for sub game dev here is what I have at the top, which is keep it simple, stupid. Use a single weapon when possible. Don't go overboard with levels or options. Make the game fit the assets. Yeah, so I think we just start with something. This for sub game dev is Kiss. So don't go crazy with it yet. And we'll see if the game is fun as is. Because I don't remember how Smash TV played. I played it a long, long time ago. But like, how did the rooms connect to one another? Was there something in between the rooms? Do we want that to be part of this? I want it to be clear. I want it to be clear how the game is supposed to be played. That's all. And if there are just swarms of enemies, then yeah, this could be fine. I actually think something almost like Gauntlet inspired could potentially work too. There could be like monster spawners. Gauntlet Legends that you have to destroy, or else the monsters will eventually overwhelm you. Does make it more fun in my mind to have part of the game not be predictable. Yeah, I think for this particular sub game, it doesn't probably matter too much. I think some amount of randomness is probably good. Yeah, we probably want some amount of randomness, since you'll replay this game a few times just to get more powerful. Yeah, and I think in terms of flow, like difficulty, the first room should feel doable, but a little difficult. You should get a power up or two as you play, maybe from bigger or glowing monsters. And then the next room should feel much harder. So that you practically have to lose. Yeah, you should get a few power-ups for winning that room. However, the second time you make it there, you'll have double the power-ups. Yeah. In fact, it'd almost be kind of funny if we did a misdirection thing here and you're getting gold as you kill these monsters. Or maybe you're getting like silver as you kill the monsters. So, and 100 silver turns into 1 gold. And you go through a run and you're playing for whatever, 5 minutes. And you end up with like 37 silver. And all of the purchases are like 10 gold or more. So you sort of understand that it's going to be grindy, but actually not for that reason. Like you are powering up without realizing it. I'll write it down as an idea, but I don't know if we should do that. It could be funny to position this as a roguelite, but in the wrong way. You collect gold as you kill monsters, but the costs are astronomically high. You end a run with 37G, but need like 12,000 G to buy +1 attack. That's when you find out that, or well, yeah. So this, I don't know. I think this could be bad. Yeah, we gotta try this out. Alien shooter. Huh. I want, is it this game on Steam? The endless darkness and the somber long passages of a military complex have become the abode of evil. Thousands of bloodthirsty creatures fill its offices. Hmm. Game from 2003. Looks neat. Yeah. It's for sale for $5 after all this time. Better ratings than Skeleseller. Cheaper than Skeleseller. Older than Skeleseller. Oh, I think Monday will be fun. And it'll be started getting back to game dev. I don't think doing this stabilization phase was bad though. I think the crash took a lot longer than I wanted it to. Like ideally, it would have taken a day or two so that on Wednesday I would have gotten back to the kind of work that I was doing today. And yeah, maybe I would have gotten up with more polish and dialogue stuff. But whatever. Time marches onward. So today's the 5th. Did work after yesterday's stream to figure out a repro for the crash. Spent most of today. What did we do? What did I do? Oh yeah, wrapping up all this stuff. I want to push everything. I don't know, just like getting through to-do items. All right, I'll link this over here. And then I want to take a look. Now we're done with all this. So what is our final character count? This is from, I think, just this week. 20,858. So we did not hit an all-time low because I added a bunch of stuff to the list. Although there's the weekend list too. I mean, this is stuff that shouldn't really be there. It's like 1,500 characters. And I planned out what the next week will look like. But yeah, all in all, I think this is pretty good. We got a bunch of stuff done. I'm gonna go raid out. I'm just a little sleepy and I don't think it's worth just staying online for the sake of it. I will be back on Monday and we will tackle some very fun stuff. I hope it turns out to be a cool game. So I hope you'll join me then. But I hope everyone has a good weekend. I'm gonna raid Sphere for you today. He raids in here a lot. I don't know what he's even working on now. GUI framework. Wonder how long that's been under development for. So yeah, take care everyone. Thanks for watching. See you later.